Okay, good morning, my dear students. Today we are going to discussing about mining sequence patterns in transactional databases. A sequence database consists of sequences of order elements or events recorded with or without a concrete notation of time. Example: customer shopping sequences, web click streams, biological sequences, sequence of events in science and engineering, and in natural and social developments. Sequential pattern mining. Sequential pattern mining is the mining of frequently occurring ordered events or subsequences as patterns. Example: sequential pattern is customers who buy a Canon digital camera are likely to buy an HP color printer within a month. Some vocabulary used in sequential pattern mining are as follows: I equal to I1, I2 and so on IP be the set of all items. Item set is a non-empty set of items. Sequence is an ordered list of events. A sequence S is denoted E1, E2, E3 and so on, where E1 occurs before E2, with occurs before E3 and so on. Event Ej is also called an element of S. Number of instances of an item in a sequence is called length of a sequence. Sequence with length L is called L sequence. Sequence alpha A1, A2 and so on An is called subsequence of another beta, B1, B2 and so on Bn, and beta is a subsequence of alpha. Scalable methods for mining sequential patterns. Efficient and scalable methods for sequential pattern mining is made progress in efficient methods for mining the full set of sequential patterns and efficient methods for mining only the set of closed sequential patterns, where a sequential pattern S is closed if there exists no sequential pattern S dash, where S dash is a proper subsequence of S and S dash has the same support as S. Three approaches for sequential pattern mining are as follows. We have three approaches for sequential pattern mining. Those are GSP, means generalized sequential patterns. Second one is SPADE. SPADE in the sense sequential pattern discovery using equivalent classes. In SPADE stands for sequential pattern discovery using equivalent classes. Third one is constraint based mining of sequential patterns. We have different approaches. First one is coming to the first one. So GSP is an extension of seminal algorithm for frequent item mining in a priori. GSP uses a downward closure property of sequential patterns and adopts a multiple pass, candidate generate and test approach. The algorithm is outlined as follows. This is the GSP algorithm. All of you read these points. Based on this algorithm, we have to find out the sequential patterns. Right? Next, SPADE. Based on SPADE, SPADE stands for sequential pattern discovery using equivalent classes. SPADE is an a priori based sequential pattern mining algorithm that uses vertical data format. As with GSP, SPADE requires one scan to find the frequent one sequences. To find the candidate two sequences, you join all pairs of single items if they are frequent if they share the same sequence identifier and if their event identifiers follow a sequential ordering. Identifies the follow sequential ordering. So first one is a prefix span. Prefix projected sequential pattern growth means this pattern growth is method of frequent pattern mining that does not require candidate generation. The general idea of this approach is as follows. So it finds the frequent single item, then compress this information into a frequent pattern tree or FP tree. Already we know FP tree. In third unit already we learned about FP growth algorithm. In FP growth we are constructing FP tree, right? So the FP tree is used to generate a set of projected databases, each associated with one frequent item. Each of these databases is mined separately. The algorithm builds prefix pattern, which is concatenates with the suffix patterns to find the frequent patterns, avoiding candidate generation. At prefix span, which extends the pattern growth approach to instead mine sequential pattern. Mining closed sequential patterns. Mining closed sequential patterns can produce a significantly less number of sequences than the full set of sequential patterns. Next, mining multidimensional multi-level sequential patterns. Mining multidimensional multi-level sequential patterns is the discovery of interesting patterns in such a broad dimensional space at different levels of detail. Next, constraint based mining of sequential pattern. It incorporates user specified constraints to reduce the search space and derive only patterns that are of interest to the user. Constraints related to the maximal or minimal length can be treated as anti-monotonic and monotonic constraints respectively. Example, the constraint t less than or equal to 10 is anti-monotonic, since if sequence does not satisfy this constraint, then neither will any of its super sequences. The constraint t greater than 10 is monotonic. Okay. Periodicity analysis for time related sequence data. So periodicity analysis is the mining of periodic patterns, that is the search for recurring patterns in time related sequence data. Periodicity analysis can be applied to many important areas. Example, seasons, tides, planet trajectories, daily power consumptions, daily traffic patterns, and weekly TV program all present certain periodic patterns. These all are the categorizations of categorized periodic patterns. All of you observe here. Yes, next, mining sequence patterns in biological data. This is another concept, mining sequence pattern in biological data. Bioinformatics is a promising young field that applies customer technology in molecular biology and develops algorithms and methods to manage and analyze biological data. So in the case of DNA, these components are building blocks, are 4 nucleotides, also called bases, namely adenine A, cytosine C, guanine G, and thymine T. This letters belongs to the starting letter of these particular things. Okay, in the case of protein, the component are 20 amino acids denoted by 20 different letters of the alphabet. So a journey is a sequence of typically hundreds of individual nucleotides arranged in a particular order. A genome, a genome is the complete set of genes of an organism. Complete set of genes of an organism. So alignment of biological sequences. Given two or more input biological sequence, identify similar sequence with long conserved subsequences. If the number of sequences to be aligned is exactly 2, it is called pairwise sequence alignment. Otherwise, it is multiple sequence alignment. There are two kinds of alignments as local alignments, global alignments. Local alignment means that only portions of the sequence are aligned. Global alignment means alignment over the entire length of the sequence. That is global and local alignments. Next, pairwise alignment. Suppose consider two amino acid sequences as follows, and the substitution matrix of amino acids for pairwise alignment is shown in the table. Okay, so in this particular diagram we have two things, A and B. Yes, suppose the penalty for initiating a gap called gap penalty is -8, and that for extending gap extension penalty is also -8. Compare two potential sequence alignment candidates shown A and B, means the following figures, this is A figure, this is a B figure, A and B, by calculating their total alignment scores. Yes, the total alignment scores for figure A, for this particular figure A, this is the alignment score. For figure B, this is the alignment score. Means scoring to potential pairwise alignments A and B of amino acids are follows. This is right. Biologists have developed 20x20 triangular matrices that provide the weights for comparing identical and different amino acids, as well as the penalties that should be attributed to gaps. Two frequently used matrices are PAM. PAM stands for present accepted mutation, and BLOSUM. BLOSUM means Bloch's substitution matrix. These are the two matrices. These substitution matrices represent the weights obtained by the comparing amino acid substitution that have occurred through evolution. For global pairwise sequence alignment, two influential algorithms have been proposed as the Needleman-Wunsch algorithm and Smith-Waterman's algorithm. To reduce the computational complexity, heuristic alignment algorithm have been proposed. Heuristic algorithms speed up the alignment process at the price of possibly missing the best scoring alignment. There are two influential heuristic alignment programs. BLAST means BLAST stand for Basic Local Alignment Search Tool, and FASTA, Fast Alignment Tool. Fast Alignment Tool. This is the BLAST algorithm. All of you observe this algorithm. All of you read this algorithm. This is the BLAST algorithm. In this we have multiple sequence alignment methods. In this particular algorithm, BLAST algorithm, we have different types of multiple sequence alignment methods. And one more thing, there are two major approaches for approximate multiple sequence alignment. One is Fang Doolittle alignment. This is one alignment technique. All of you read these points and try to I mentioned clearly here. All of you read these things. Next, hidden Markov models, HMM. These two are the major approaches for approximate multiple sequence alignment. This hidden Markov model for biological sequence analysis. Hidden Markov, as all of you observe, biological sequence analysis compares, aligns indexes and analyzes biological sequence, which can be either sequence of nucleotides or of amino acids. Biosequence analysis plays a role in bioinformatics and modern biology. Such analysis can be partitioned into two essential tasks. So pairwise sequence alignment and multiple sequence alignment. Yes, the dynamic programming approach is commonly used for sequence alignments. Available analysis packages, BLAST, already previously we observed BLAST, basic local alignment search tool, is one of the most popular tools in biosequence analysis. This diagram refers the Markov chain. A Markov chain is model that generates sequence in which the probability of a symbol depends only on the previous symbol. Example of Markov chain model. This diagram indicates the Markov chain model. This model is defined a set of states and a set of transactions between the states. Means these are the states and it just belongs to a set of transactions between the states. Try to observe all these points. Yes, hidden Markov model. Adding transaction probabilities between two chains in Markov chain model is hidden Markov model and is as follows. This is the hidden Markov model. So a set of states and a set of transactions, transaction probabilities. All these observed here, all of you observed here. So means task using hidden Markov model include the following three things. One is evaluation. Second one is decoding, third one is learning. And it means given sequence X determine the probability of P of X of obtaining X in the model. Decoding, given a sequence determine the most probability path through the model that produced the sequence. Learning, a given model and set of training sequence, find the model parameters that explain the training sequence with relatively high probability. So here we have different types of algorithm. One is a forward algorithm. This is the forward algorithm. All of you read this algorithm. Next to Viterbi algorithm. This is the Viterbi algorithm. This is the Viterbi algorithm. Next, Baum-Welch algorithm. This is the following last one is the Baum-Welch algorithm. With the help of all these three algorithms, we are observing the biological patterns. Right? Yes. This is the today's session. All of you must and should observe the last three algorithms. Right? Thank you. This is today which I explained. This is completely belongs to your 5th unit first part material. All of you observe your 5th unit first part material. Thank you very much. I think lockdown is extended up to 17th. So all of you take care. Stay at home.